Righto, Link, my friend. Here's your goods. Should give those Soul Calibur fighters a right stick. But that sword you're using, pardon my pun, ain't gonna cut it, mate. Toss that dodgy dagger and take hold of this.
The wait's over. Soul Calibur 2 finally puts the weapons back in your hands, featuring classic Soul Calibur fighters, new warriors, and over 10 modes of play. And exclusively on the Nintendo GameCube, Link joins the fun.
How about off price?
Soul Calibur 2, rated T for teen.
You're watching the Crescent City's premier independent station, WGNO 26. Television, New Orleans style.
Welcome back to another episode of DwreckTV. I'm Dwreck. And it is part 2 of ranking Western cartoons. And as y'all have seen last week, I ranked the cartoons for the Disney afternoon, like DuckTales and Darkwing Duck and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and all the good stuff that the Disney Channel used to have and everything. So now it is week 2. And we're going to be talking about Nicktoons. Now we're delving into Nickelodeon Nicktoons. Man, I'll tell you what. Growing up during the from 1990 to 1999, I got to say, out of every channel that I've watched, I'd say the Nicktoons on Nickelodeon had to be some of the best cartoons ever of that era. And at first I thought about just doing them all in order, but just staying true to the randomness of it, we're gonna pull them out the box and everything. But I gotta tell you, if you was a kid during the 1990s, Nickelodeon was everywhere. Nickelodeon really captivated that audience. They really captured that essence of that time. I mean, everything was just fitting well with it. Like if Disney was more clean and tamed and it appealed to more families and appealed to more like girl audiences, everything, Nickelodeon captured that 1990s boys' imaginations. Everything with gross stuff, freaking booger jokes, fart jokes, the slime. Everything about Nickelodeon was cool. Everything about Nickelodeon was cool during that time. Everything from the Nicktoons, from the shows, the game shows, just about anything you could think of Nickelodeon. It was incredible. So now, that being said, let's get into ranking the Nicktoons, especially ones that I've watched. I'm not going to talk about all the Nicktoons, like not every one of them, because I haven't watched all of them. I'm just going to go up to the ones that I have watched, and I'm just going to leave out the ones that I either have not watched or don't care to even acknowledge. So, that being said, let's take a quick commercial break, and we're going to delve into this right after this.
Don't you dare touch that dial! DwreckTV will be back after these messages! Woody woo!
It's not like algebra. It's not like cleaning your room. It's not like homework. It's one thing you do just for kicks. Chocolate, caramel, and that great cookie crunch. One of life's great kicks. Twix. Now, chew on that. Oh, yeah.
Godzilla's hiding, and it's up to you to find him. Just buy a medium or larger drink. If you find a Godzilla, use your decoder to reveal what you've won.
I think I need a bigger box.
phone. Gonna jump in the Soul Calibur ring for a bit of bother. So, here's your axe, Chief. But you get done over with that small thing. Try something with a little... All right, you're a strong fella. Don't need a bigger axe now.
The wait's over. Soul Calibur 2 finally puts the weapons back in your hands, featuring classic Soul Calibur fighters, new warriors, and over 10 modes of play. And exclusively on the Xbox, Todd McFarlane's Spawn brings the pain.
I got all right, no problem.
Soul Calibur 2, rated T for teen. For the soul that burns, there's no power greater than X.
And now back to DwreckTV. Whoa.
Oh, welcome back. Didn't recognize you. All right, let's get into this, shall we? Let's talk and rank Nicktoons. Everybody loves Nicktoons, so do I. But which one we're going to talk about first? First up, we're going to talk about is, right off the bat, Rocko's Modern Life. Rocko's Modern Life was, quite frankly, probably one of my all-time favorite Nicktoons. One of my all-time favorite cartoon shows when I was younger. Everything about it, from Rocko to Heifer Filbert, even his dog Spunky and the Big Heads, and even Miss Dr. Hutchinson and Ralph. What's their names? Ralph Big Head. That's what it is. Everything about the show was great. And it really taught me about a lot of things with lifestyles and everything, and what to expect in life and everything. So Rocko's Modern Life, I definitely put this up at an S rank. Rocko's Modern Life, the art style to it was great. The humor was great. It felt more like a more tamed Ren and Stimpy. But if you ever get a chance, Rocko's Modern Life is absolutely, without question, one of my all-time favorites. And what we're going to talk about next, better be good. Next up is Kablam. Kablam was one of them shows that it was more of like a variety show. It was hosted by these characters named Henry and June, and they had always show some skits from various cartoons, like independent cartoons. Like they had the Action League Now, which was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Sniz and Fondue, Life of Loopy, The Offbeats, and quite possibly my personal favorite, Prometheus and Bob. Prometheus and Bob on Kablam was probably one of the most watched skits, and I even got a videotape. Actually, I think it's right here. Yeah, right here. I even got a videotape. Look what I did with this thing, of a whole bunch of Prometheus and Bob's on a videotape. That's how big it was. So as far as Kablam goes, as a show, if we're going by Prometheus and Bob, it's definitely an S rank. But as far as Kablam itself, I put it at an A rank. Some skits were better than others. They actually had some that were kind of boring, but Prometheus and Bob made it worthwhile. Mins, what are you doing? Mins is over here. She's just snooping around. Next, we're going to talk about Rocket Power. Rocket Power, I never seen an episode. I do remember seeing like commercials of it, but this was during a time when I had left Nicktoons. I had left Nickelodeon to go for a full-on anime. So everybody says Rocket Power is really good, but I absolutely have no recollection of Rocket Power. So as many people are gonna like frown upon on this, I'm gonna put it at a D. I put it at a D because that means D means didn't watch. So I have no recollection of it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it was bad, but everybody says it was good. But I put it at a D because I don't know a whole lot about it. Next, we're going to talk about Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was the third Nicktoon that ever came out, along with Doug and Rugrats. Ren and Stimpy, as I've said before, I've watched a lot of cartoons when I was younger. everything from the Looney Tunes, the Disney cartoons, some Max Fletcher cartoons, Tex Avery cartoons, and even like Woody Woodpecker and some of those public domains that my grandparents used to have. But when I was about 7 years old, when I saw Ren and Stimpy, it blew my young little mind, because I was so used to seeing cartoons a certain way, but seeing Ren and Stimpy and the art style and the fluid animations and the over exaggerated facial expressions and the backgrounds and the absolute insanity of it all captivated my imagination as to what cartoons could be. Much to my mother's dismay on certain things on it, because my mother, she used to let me watch Ren and Stimpy, but if I did something that they did, then I wouldn't be able to watch it for a while. I was punished from it, and rightfully so. But Ren and Stimpy was one of them things that just came around and just made a loud noise over here and turned everybody's heads. It rolled heads, most definitely. I would put Ren and Stimpy at a low S, high A rank. But as far as that adult humor cartoon, not even. I hated that shit. I hated when they came out with that. But Ren and Stimpy definitely a big impact on me, especially with my art style. When I saw that when I was a little kid, I said I wanted to draw like that, and I pushed myself to it. Now, what's going to be next off these Nicktoons? All Grown Up. One of my cousins used to watch this. She used to like Rugrats, and then when All Grown Up came out, it was I actually thought it was a good concept, because I like seeing like some characters like age, and especially with the Rugrats, seeing them as preteens and everything. I thought that was a really cool concept. But I've vaguely watched many episodes of it. I remember watching a few, but not so much to where I don't ever recall much. I put at a B, because I did see a few episodes with my cousin, but it's one of the things. But especially that was during the time when I was into anime, so go fig. Next, we're gonna talk about Doug. I actually liked Doug. I really did. When he first came out on the scene, I thought it was really cool. The music was cool. The stories that he came up with was pretty cool. And even I forgot to talk about this on the last episode, on the last video. Disney's Doug and everything. I actually like that, because like I said, I like seeing the characters grow up, and I like seeing them like continue on in life. Like the Nickelodeon's Doug going to Disney's Doug. I liked that. I put Doug at a solid A. Absolutely love Doug. Love the music to it. Love the characters. Love the stories to it. It's like one of those slice of life type stories. And then going to the Disney episodes was a good continuation. Really wish they would they come to terms to making a new one where they're all adults and they have kids and with their kids. Much like with the Rugrats. They should make a Rugrats one where they're the parents and with their kids now. How that would turn out. Next, the Wild Thornberrys. My wife absolutely loves the Wild Thornberrys. She will talk your head off about the Wild Thornberrys. She absolutely loves it. But as far as me goes, as far as I go, I didn't watch any episode of Wild Thornberrys. Like I said, this was during a time when I left Nickelodeon and I was full on with anime. So I absolutely have no recollection of it. I have never watched any episodes. But as far as my wife goes, my wife would put it at an S rank. So if that's the case, I'll put Wild Thornberrys at an S rank as well. This one's for you, baby. All right, next we're going to talk about I Real Monsters. Oh, man. When I Real Monsters hit the scene, I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. Especially with Ickis, Crumb, Oplina, what's the Grumble? Grumble almost reminded me of Tim Curry. And what was that other character? Simon Strikes, the guy, the Monster Hunter. I liked the Real Monsters. Even the video game was cool. One of my cousin Max's cousin, Michael, he had that on Sega Genesis, and I thought that was really cool. Real Monsters, as far as the show goes, I put it at a low A. Really cool show. I love the art style. The same art style from Rugrats and everything. But I actually like the Real Monsters. Next, we're going to talk about Hey Arnold. I remember seeing Hey Arnold when it first aired. I recorded the first episode when they, what was the first episode? When they was in the fruit outfits and they went downtown and they're trying to get to the play. And Hey Arnold was almost like another version of Doug, except I'd say it was more in depth. The characters were more in depth than Doug. I would put Hey Arnold at A rank. Definitely a good one. Hey Arnold was definitely a good one. All right, we're almost halfway there. We'll be right back after these messages.
Get your drink but don't touch that dial, because DwreckTV will be back in a
Kevin, did you get choke slammed? Pile drived?
No.
Come on, big sexy. What's wrong?
I've got Monster Truck Madness.
Monster Truck Madness for Nintendo 64. The biggest, fattest monster truck game in the world. 19 trucks to choose from, including Big Boy and the WCW NWO Wrestle Trucks. Multiplayer Mania allows 1 to 4 players to compete in 7 modes of play, including Battle Games.
Monster Truck Madness. Reach out and crush someone.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, stay close a little longer, hold tight a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
I got your wrist thingies, mate. But hey, Archie, these are Soul Calibur fighters. They all got blades and sticks and such. Go in with just those. Your history, my son. What you need, my Shima-san, if I may.
The wait's over. Soul Calibur 2 puts the weapons back in your hands, featuring classic Soul Calibur fighters, new warriors, and over 10 modes of play. And exclusively on PlayStation 2, Tekken's Heihachi unleashes his rage.
All right, no blades for you then.
Soul Calibur 2, rated T for teen.
K&B knows it's the season for sniffles, and you can save on things to make you feel better. Like these. Hall's Mentholyptus Cough Suppressant Drops, 79 cents. Kleenex Tissues, 175 count box, just 89 cents. Tropicana Orange Juice, a half gallon, $1.99. And Alka-Seltzer, regular or flavored, 36 tablets or extra strength, 24 is only $2.99 at K&B. Our savings are nothing to sneeze at, so follow your nose to your nearby K&B drugstore. Bless you. Personally yours.
We now return to DwreckTV.
What are you doing? What are you doing, huh? What you doing? You're just going all over the place. It's always at nighttime that you want to be the most active. You know that? It's always at nighttime you want to be active. Especially when I come home. Oh, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. See what you made me do? You see what you made me do? All right, come on. All right, next up. Let's talk with more. Let's rank some more Nicktoons, shall we? Whew. Look at this little thing. Next up. Wow! Will you stop? Little claws. Jeez. I'm on the air. We're going to talk about next is Rugrats. Speaking of a little Rugrat, you just get into trouble, aren't you, little missy? Rugrats, the second Nicktoon. I do remember watching it when it first came around. it's definitely good for kids. And seeing the adventures of Tommy, Chucky, and Phil and Lil, and that little bitch Angelica. Rugrats was good, but after a while, especially when I started getting a little older, it kind of got a little too childish for me. So I would put Rugrats, as good as it was, I'd put it at a low A going into a B. That's because, like I said, as I got a little older, it started getting a little childish. But I really like I said, I like the concept of how they grew up on All Grown Up. But Rugrats is alright. It's definitely good for kids. Next up, we're going to talk about the Angry Beavers. The Angry Beavers, that too, I remember seeing the first episode, and I actually like the Angry Beavers, especially with Norbert and Daggett and their misadventures and everything, and like being on their own and just living their lives and everything. And some of the stuff they got into is pretty funny. I'll put the Angry Beavers same around. I put it at an A rank. It was pretty good. It was really funny. I only saw like maybe a few episodes, and I didn't see a whole lot of the Angry Beavers, but the ones that I did see it was pretty enjoyable. What are you doing? This cat. Just nothing but trouble. Next, we're going to talk about Danny Phantom. I was 19 years old, about to be graduating when Danny Phantom came around. I really wanted to like Danny Phantom. I liked it. What are you doing? I like the idea of it. I love the concept of Danny Phantom. How he, a teenager that got into a phantom zone or something, or a ghost world, and then he becomes a ghost. He becomes a phantom, becomes Danny Phantom. He becomes like a superhero, taking out ghosts and everything, almost like Ghostbusters and Luigi's Mansion. I only saw like maybe a few episodes, but what turned me off about Danny Phantom was his art style. The art style that you would see like in like 2000s Nicktoons and even on Cartoon Network, and that style that I really don't like. I really don't like that style. But aside from that, I would put Danny Phantom, as much as I wanted to like it, but the art style just took it out of me. I would put Danny Phantom at a B rank. Had the art style be more like a Rocco style, or even like a Rugrats style, I think I would have liked it a little more. But I'm sorry, everybody. Danny Phantom, I like its concept, but the art style just couldn't do it for me. Next up is Ninja Turtles 2012. Ninja Turtles 2012. I was gone from Nickelodeon for so long, and then when I heard that Nickelodeon, like Viacom, had bought out the Ninja Turtles franchise, I thought, what are they going to do with this? And when I first saw the art style to their CG animations, I thought, what the hell is this? But something told me to just give this a chance. Especially when my nephew, Chaotic Kid, he was 5 years old at this time. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to watch it with him. And we watched the first episode together. And I could not believe how good this show was. Ninja Turtles 2012 surprised the hell out of me. I was so delighted. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved Ninja Turtles 2012. Aside from the art style to it, but it's just something about it that just had that charm to it. Like, it appealed to the older fans of Ninja Turtles, and it appealed to a younger audience as well. And I actually liked that. I liked everybody with all the Turtles. April as a teenager was alright. Casey Jones was alright. I liked the Dog Pound and Fish Face, as opposed to like how like that could have been their new Rocksteady and Bebop with Shredder. Baxter Stockman I didn't really care for as a character. And Rat King was alright. He had the same voice as Ratchet from Transformers Prime. I thought that was hilarious. But that was a good one too, but we'll get into that one later. But Ninja Turtles 2012 really surprised the hell out of me. I'd give it a... But after a while, it did kind of get a little redundant. After a while, I'd say by season 4 and 5, it kind of get a little redundant. I would put it at a high A. If it didn't become so redundant, I would put it at an S rank. All right, and last but not least, we're going to talk about is Cat Dog. Cat Dog, Cat Dog came out when I was like maybe just becoming a teenager. Cat Dog was the last Nicktoon I remember watching before I officially left Nickelodeon and went straight on to head on to anime. I like the idea of Cat Dog. I love the art style to it, the episodes, the adventures and the misadventures that they get into. And Winslow, that little shit right there, that little shit starter. I would put Cat Dog, like I said, it was good. I only saw a handful of episodes, and this was the last Nicktoon I remember seeing before I left Nickelodeon. I would put it at a B rank. So there you go. There's my rankings to Nicktoons. Rocco is a solid S rank, one of my all-time favorites. Wild Thornberries, I haven't watched any episodes, but my wife loves it. Then you got the A ranks and the B ranks. And the only D rank is Rocket Power just because I'd never watched it. So I don't have no recollection of it. So yeah, there you go. That goes with the Nicktoons. If anybody ever wants to watch these episodes, y'all gotta watch these because these cartoons definitely defined an era. And anything that came after it, I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't even want to mention the shows that came after. So yeah, that's it for this episode of ranking Western cartoons for the Nicktoons. Stay tuned next week, same time, same channel, as we delve into Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. That's gonna be a fun one. I sure hope so. So this is Dwreck signing out. See y'all on the flip side.